YouTube, it's Missy, and today I'm here to give you guys a review for the Temple House Vanishing by Rachel Donahue. This is her debut novel. It did come out last year, I believe, but this is a new edition cover that is going to be released, or it has been released by Algonquin Books. I will leave all of the information down below if you want to follow them on Instagram, especially the author, because we need to give her love. Now, when I did receive the email for this particular blog tour, I think that's what they're called, what stood out to me the most about the synopsis of this book was that it was set at a boarding school. Check. It had a disappearance mystery element to it. Check. And it was set in Ireland. We all know the United Kingdom is like one of my favorite countries to read stories about because it's so old. You know, the history on the British Isles are just ancient. I feel like there's more mystery and ghosts and fantasy elements to it, and I just really love I love that island of countries. So yes, I received this ebook for free, so I could review it for you guys, obviously, and I am excited to dive right in. So, like I said, this book is set at a boarding school. We have our main character who is from a broken home. Her parents are in the middle of a divorce. She feels ignored, and like her parents have always treated her kind of, you know, wishy-washy, like they're not really in her life. I mean, they're there, but they're not really there. And so our main character, Louisa, is just wanting to leave, and she gets the opportunity by just getting really good grades. She's the smartest person in her town, and she gets a scholarship to this elite Catholic school in this mysterious landscape in the mountains, and it's mainly run by these rich nuns who are kind of money hungry, in my opinion. At least that's what they seemed like to me. They were money hungry, and this school has been running for the last 50 years. They are actually, when Louisa ends up at this school, it is their 50th anniversary, and they're going to have this big thing going on. Yeah, but Louisa's an outsider because she is the scholarship kid. And that's one of the tropes when you have these boarding school type of drama mysteries, is that there's always going to be a clique. There's going to be the mean girls. In this book, it was the prefects, and there's going to be the weirdos or the outcasts, which is going to be our scholarship kids, because everybody at the school has some kind of influence. Their parents are influential. There's money being given to the school through the parents. So these girls that come from wealth get the better rooms and so forth. And they're just, you know, treated better by the nuns. Probably because, again, the parents pay for the school to be running. And so Louisa feels like she's an outcast right away, whereas when she came from her small town and she was like the top dog of the school because she was so bright and all the teachers liked her, she comes to this elite Catholic school and she is down at the bottom of the feeding pool again, and she doesn't like the feeling. On her first day, she goes to art class and meets Mr. Laval, who is the sexy young art teacher that doesn't fit the vibe of this school. He's too bohemian. He's too free with the way he thinks and the way he teaches. And that is a drawing aspect for Louisa. She loves the fact that he's not so rigid like the nuns are. But what really stands out to her is this girl, Victoria, who again is a part of this school. Her, family line has been coming to this school for decades. So she comes from wealth, she comes from influence, but she has a darker side to her, and she doesn't fit in with the clique, with the prefix, with the rich girls. There's something off about her, and Louisa really attaches herself to Victoria because of this. And Victoria is open to a new friendship because her last best friend ended up leaving the school in the previous year. So she's definitely up for a new best friend slash ingenue or protege at the school, or like a sidekick, really. So we go through the book and we're learning the day-to-days with Louisa and how the school runs, and her friendship with Victoria and their clickiness with the new art teacher, and everything's right as rain. And then our POV shifts. This book has 2 POVs. It is not linear. It does go back and forth from the present to the past. So we have Louisa's outlook on the school and her point of view, and then we have the journalist. Now, the journalist is never named in the book, but she is a neighbor of Louisa, and she grew up right next door, although she's 10 years younger. The journalist is writing an article 25 years later about the disappearance of Louisa and of Mr. Laval. So we don't know where the 2 people went, but rumors were that either she ran away with the art teacher because she was in love with him, or he seduced her and then murdered her, essentially. So those are our 2 things that could have happened to Louisa and her art teacher. And the journalist is trying to, comb through all of the old interviews, all of the old articles. She goes and tries to interview some of these past students as adults now to get a good, representation of actually what happened on Louisa's last day on campus of this school. And things go from there. I found it very engrossing. This is a YA book, so there are the mean girls, like I said, the drama of being in a school system with other girls. There's the class difference, the rich against the poor. We always have something that we are going to nitpick about in schools, especially when you're stuck in an area, a building, or, away from your family and other friends. You tend to nitpick about the things that you really don't like about someone. And it's just human nature to run with people that are like you, think like you, dress like you, talk like you. And so, yeah, I love YA because I can fly through it and it's fluff, in my opinion. A lot of the times the drama is kind of realistic, but also kind of like cringe and cliche, but I did enjoy it. The thing that I didn't enjoy, and I think it's on my fault personally, because I do read so many mystery books and I do read a lot that take place at boarding schools, that there was a lot of similarities between 2 books in particular. If you have read The Lying Game by Ruth Ware, then you might like this book. It's like a teenage version of that. Instead of having the group of girls in The Lying Game, there is just the 2, Victoria and Louisa, in this book. The things that the girls got up to in The Lying Game, our girls get up to in the Temple House Vanishing. So there's there's so many similarities that it was kind of like, whoa, this isn't the same book, but oh my gosh, it's almost like a retelling of that story, but in a YA version. And I don't think that the author plagiarized, obviously, but there is a lot of similar things. I have my written review down below. You can always check that out on Goodreads. But yeah, it was very similar. So if you've read The Lion Game, you might also like the Temple House Vanishing. The other book that I wanted to reference is it's from Tana French. It's the 5th book in the Dublin Murder Squad series, and what is it called? What is it called? The Secret Place. That's it, The Secret Place. In that book, there is a murder at a boarding school, and in this book, there's a disappearance. So that's the thing that is different, but in both, they have the mean girls and the weirdos, so they have the cliques going on. Another similarity is the fact that in The Secret Place, we have the 2 detectives that are trying to figure out what happened during that night where the boy in that book was murdered. And so they go through like the procedural part of the story, and then we have like a past POV from the girls saying exactly what happened, and then we go back to the present and the cops are doing this, and then we go back to the girls in the past and it's explaining how the cops are getting their ideas and what the girls were actually doing at that point in time, which I really enjoyed, that back and forth in The Secret Place. So when I was reading it in this book, it was like, yay, almost like I don't know what I'm trying to say, but it was a good flow. You know what I mean? Like I got the back and forth. I got the story and the rumors from the journalist and the people that she is interviewing 25 years later, their prejudices, their things that they have that they are still dealing with. And then we have exactly what happened through Louisa's eyes and how she is trying to navigate the school, and especially the mean girl in this book, Helen. She's trying to get through each day without getting Helen angry. She doesn't want her attention because Helen is such a mean person. And it's funny because this is set at a Catholic school. You would think that going through a religious environment that everybody would be loving, but that's rarely the case. Everyone has their dark side and the things that they hate and their prejudices and all of that stuff. So yeah, so that's basically the gist of the book. There is a mystery on what happened to Louisa and the journalist who is trying to reclaim her neighbor's, you know, good faith. Like, she doesn't believe that Louisa ran away with this teacher, and she's trying to redeem her, like her reputation, I guess, because she doesn't buy it. She thinks that something really bad happened and she wants to get to the bottom of it. And yeah, overall I gave this book a 3.5 stars. Like I said, it was very engrossing. I was able to read it in 2 days, so it was fast-paced. I liked where it was going. I didn't mind any of the vocabulary, the writing, all of that was fine and dandy. There wasn't like these beautiful metaphors that I would want to quote or write down. It was good. It was a good mystery. The twist at the end, however, did catch me off guard, and that's what bumped it up a half star. It was going to be a 3-star read, but that twist, I was like, yeah, I like that. It reminded me kind of like Asian horror, how they have this creeping sense of eeriness throughout the story, and you get that kind of sense towards the end of the book, so I really appreciated that. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Thank you again to Algonquin for sending it my way. Again, if you liked The Lying Game, or if you liked The Secret Place, you really should check this book out. It does have similar elements to it, but it's a book of its own, and again, that twist was pretty exciting. I did like it. Yeah, that's it. I thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you guys are doing well and having a wonderful week, and that's it. I will talk to you guys soon. Thanks so much.